James Murphy, tell me something great. Hey guys, how you doing today? I am out on the trail and it is hot and muggy as can be. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I am sweating like crazy. Just wanted to talk for 2 minutes today and follow up on knowledge part 2. Talked about yesterday about intellectual knowledge versus experiential knowledge and which one really gives you the competitive edge in business and life. Well, let's talk first about intellectual knowledge. Intellectual knowledge is fantastic in that it's accumulation of what other people have learned, ideas, thoughts, and concepts that in a real world where everything is perfect, everything would seem to run smoothly and you would just use them and have success, right? But the problem with intellectual knowledge is it all happens up here in your mind. There's actually no action that takes place. And that's the problem with intellectual knowledge is it's really great to go get an MBA, but if you don't apply it in a business, you still don't make any money, right? The knowledge is great, but what are you going to do with it to actually make money in the business? So the reason that experiential knowledge trumps intellectual knowledge is because I get people all the time who say, hey, James, I'm not confident about this. I'm not confident about that. Well, the funny thing about confidence is that what precedes confidence is actually building competence. Because if you think about it, if you've never run before, you're totally incompetent. So the only way to get to become confident is to go out, take action, trial and error. And that's where competence is built, right? So competence is the foundation for confidence, right? But in order to be confident, that means you got to take action, which is 100% experiential. There's nothing like on the ground, boots on the ground, experiential knowledge that creates success. Because the thing is with the intellectual knowledge, if you just have intellectual knowledge your whole life, you'll never achieve anything. But if you gain the experiential knowledge, eventually the intellectual knowledge comes. So I bought 2 or 3 books on blisters and feet and everything, but guess what? This awesome, wonderful shoe, I thought I only had about 45 minutes to come out and run. This awesome, beautiful shoe here, I didn't realize it in the 30 minutes that I had, but guess what? The insert inside was pushed all the way up or all the way back, so my toes were actually rubbing over the end of the insert. Now that wouldn't be a big deal if I was only gonna run for my initial 45 minutes because I just would have slowed down, wouldn't have been any blisters, no big deal. But guess what? All of a sudden my client canceled at 2:30, gave me some extra time to run, which meant I was going to be able to run 7 or 8. So all of a sudden now that one small thing could become a really big thing. But if I didn't have the experiential knowledge of understanding how just a little bit of rub on the end of your toes could lead to some serious blisters, which 2, 3, 4 days from now could really cause some pain, maybe get infected, or in the worst case scenario, and totally sideline my goal. Would have never known that if I didn't have the experiential knowledge. So guess what? That allowed me to stay confident. I actually took the insert out, threw it in the trash can a couple miles back, and I've been running ever since, and now I'm on a trail. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. Like I said, my client canceled. So I know how to run now, so even though I don't have a full insert in my shoe, I won't get any blisters. So that's why Nike says, hey, just do it, and that phrase was so popular. So I'm gonna leave you with one last quote, which is just this, which is remember that sometimes words are just words and people use them a lot to cover up and waste the time that they could be taking actions and new behaviors. So be careful with words because sometimes they're awesome and sometimes they can be a total excuse for us not achieving. An explanation is never a justification in the end because in the end all that matters is action. So take care, have an awesome day, keep running your race. I'm doing great. I'm gonna crack 200 miles here this week in the next day or two. Keep running your race and we'll talk to you soon. All the best.